That steak can't be good anymore. Being 3 days in whatever Hellion spawn that this investigator has placed it in. Sorry for the delay. Here is what you've ordered. The steak. Well, what about the blood? Is there blood on it? Of course there isn't. Quickly, Inspector, the blood man! Show the court! Of course. Examine the plate at your leisure. Oh, there's no blood. No. No blood. No blood anywhere. But no! That's impossible! I know I saw it. I'm sure of it. It was right there on the table behind the professor. There was blood on the side of the plate. What an unbecoming expression, little boy. You see? This is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you. I couldn't agree more. In the case of this disgrace to the Empire. I believe we may finally have reached a conclusion in this trial. Let's hope so. Let's pretend the attempt at courtroom proceedings is painful to watch. But I do promise to do my best to forget it all when it's over. Ha! This sorry-looking steak reveals the facts all too clearly. If the sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it, be my guest. Yes, I want to look. Oh god, I don't want to touch this, man. What's the plate I saw? Or thought I saw? Just a figment of my imagination? This is it now. I've lost. Well, I mean, you could at least say that after you look at the steak. This is really gross, by the way. Oh god, but I can lift it up. Huh? What in the world is this? I think it's a Kanban coin. And the hallmark is from the Hoi era, I believe. No. I don't mean what is it? I mean, what's it doing there? Wait, did you say it was a Hoi Koban? Yes, and apart from the meat juices, it looks to be in good condition. I imagine it's very valuable. This is the first time that there's been talk of a Hoi Koban. I've heard of pearls before swine, but I've never heard of bullion in bullion. I don't think you ever will again. This is extraordinary, though. This means... Well, would you look at that? We may have uncovered something. When will we use it? I don't know. Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. Not until the final gavel. Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward, no matter what. Believe in myself? Really? Maybe I should at least examine the evidence for myself. As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way, I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objection? That bloodstain was going to clinch the trial for me. Can this plate of steak reveal any other clues at all? There's another clue. Do not accidentally hit nothing else. Your Excellency, please wait! This plate of beef is hiding another clue. Another clue that will reveal the shocking truth. Objection! The only thing that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with beefsteak. Your Excellency, I think I've made myself clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial. I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not give a ruling until I've completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled. I see. As a newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, is it? Thank you, Your Excellency. Counsel for the defense, you will now clearly show the court to what you are alluding. Where precisely on this plate of beef steak is this new clue to be found? Right underneath the steak itself and all of its... Oh wait, do I have to search it first? I do have to search it first. And he's just gonna go through the same text. I cannot skip it. I shouldn't have examined it before, but that's what they usually ask us to do. I'm still not sure what a Koban is, but I probably had it on the screen when we were talking about it earlier. All I know is that it's made of gold. It looks like it's made of gold, and also the fact that Kazuma said it's made of bullion. Bullion. Alright, so this, right here.
Got it!
Good gracious, that's... Koban? What on earth? A holy error one at that. Miss Brett. This is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered at the restaurant on the day of question. Is it? Tell me. Why is there an old coin seemingly hidden underneath the meat?
Shut up!
What a ridiculous question! How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life! I don't know what this is, but I want no part of it.
Objection!
I fail to see how this is relevant. A coin under the meat! That could simply have been a careless mistake by the shit chef in a moment of distraction.
Objection!
Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen? A rare Hoi Koban just happened to be underneath that piece of steak? If this turns out to be irrelevant in the case, I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now. He's right. It can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency! Yes, Counsel. A rare Hoi Koban just happened to be hidden underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll give up my lawyer job right now!
Objection!
You're not even a lawyer to begin with. By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway.
Shut up!
Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant. Even though I'm the one on trial here? The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it's doing under the steak. The owner? Yes, it's obvious. There's only one person it can belong to. The owner of the Koban that was found underneath the beef steak is... all the way to the right.
Take that!
Obviously, it can only be the antiques dealer and owner shop of Rasute, Kurikuda-san. Blah. Cutie, as in Mr. Cucumber something. Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are quite unfathomable. Ah, yes. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct? Yes, Your Excellency. I remember him saying he was up to something with his Koban coin when it happened. At exactly the moment the gun fired. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing? Hunting for treasure. Indeed, the Hoi era Koban, my prize coin! I will never do old man voices after this, I swear to God. Then this Hoi era Koban, do you mean to tell me?
Objection!
No! Please, why would Kurikuda-san's Koban be sandwiched between the victim's beef steak and his plate? It makes no sense!
Yes!
Which is why I'm asking to bring Kurikuda-san back to the witness stand so we can ask him. Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here. Without a moment's delay. I can't believe we've come back around to that pair again. But I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Koban, we'll find that it's a key element in this case. Oh, the poor sergeant. Poor baby. What's this all about? Why have I been called up here again? Don't you realize that it's dinner time for little baby Ido? When my son's belly is empty, he's fierce as a pack of wolves. Exploited by the police, we were. Like miserable dogs forced to bear false witness. And when casted from this courtroom myself, I became a ruined man in a trice. A worthless, withered antique. Nothing more have I to say. The sun is set on this rusty shop owner's existence. Be that as it may, Kurakuda-san, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Yurasaki memory serves, have you ever seen this Koban? Yes, that's it! The one! The very exact one that it is! The splendid holy treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day! It can't be! As I thought. Young man! Enlighten this decrepit old fool. Put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped? Oh, I'm not sure if it was dropped anywhere. We found your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and his plate, soaking in the seasoned meat's juices. I don't know if you need to clarify that, man. Sandwiched? Soaking? Seriously? Clearly, it couldn't have fallen there by accident. Which means somebody must have hidden it in there on purpose. Somebody concealed my holy treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate. Who would do such a thing? Such an inconceivable thing! I don't think that was the right word I said, but whatever. Excuse me. Could I say something? Yes, of course. Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga. I mentioned this earlier on the trial, but I was working undercover in a restaurant in order to investigate another case. Ah, yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation. La Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similarly executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such incidents have been reported to the police bureau. Wicked crimes indeed. We want to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected. So that's why you were sent in undercover, is it? Yes. I took on the job of a waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely that this Koban incident is the work of the same thief. So unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief at the work in the restaurants on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid Kurakuda-san's Koban is all too clear. What? What? Why would you put their voices next to each other? Give me a break! I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. Tell us, who is this despicable scoundrel that stole Kurakuda-san's Koban and hid it under the steak? That would be the only other person at the diner. The restaurant. The diner restaurant. Obviously, it can only be you! Sergeant Nosa! What? How dare you! You monster! Look at the baby's face. Monster? I stole that Koban, did I? I'm the master thief of La Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, cadet! But it wasn't! It was Ido! Ido was the mastermind behind all this! You would push the blame for your crimes onto your own son, an innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa. Nippon Imperial Army, Sergeant Iesa Nosa, preparing to stand down in the Supreme Court, sir! Do any of you know of the extraordinary low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays those that it expects to keep our country safe? I understand that the temporary increase in taxation owing to the recently ended conflicts remain in place. And I have heard that it's hard for the lower ranking soldiers to make a living, yes. All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son! That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant? The place is heaving with money! Every 3 days, I'd go there and do reconnaissance for target. And I enjoy chomping my way through a good steak at the same time. It sounds like he doesn't bother with a knife and fork even, which is worryingly believable. And your target that day was the old man and his koban? Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all. A veritable phantom thief you are. I was all set to leave the steak I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Yes, when the professor was shot. I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. I'd owe too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could, on the double. I slipped it underneath the steak, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again at a later date. That's disgusting. And everyone thinks the same. This is ridiculous. Perhaps you could carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time? Well, Miss Brett?
Oh, of course, dear lady, of course! How rude of us! I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer at all. May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, Your Excellency.
I was about to say executed. Indeed. The theft of the koban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder. Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. Nonsense, is it? Well, oof. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense, it's pure madness. Very well, now that all questions concerning this witness's testimony has been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave. Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. And good day. Ryunosuke, what's the matter with you? This is no time for daydreaming. Oh, no, it's just... something about Miss Brett's parting words there got me thinking. I can't quite work out what exactly, but something she said jarred with me. I feel like there was a contradiction in there somewhere. Something didn't quite add up. If that's the case, don't just stand there thinking. Make your voice heard. Sorry? You can think later, but if you don't call it now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over.
Hold it!
Wait, Miss Brett.
What is it now?
I'm afraid just one last time. There's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like you to explain the contradiction in your parting words from just a few moments ago.
What are you talking about?
What contradiction? What contradiction?
Objection!
What new student nonsense is this?
Well, what parting words are you talking about, Ryunosuke? These exact parting words, right here. About hiding a coin underneath a piece of meat and chomping it down. I mean, if the meat was like super tender, that would be possible. But it's still kind of ill-advised. Please cut up your food before you consume it. Do not try to choke on your food. Yes, I'm right. What she said there exposed an undeniable contradiction. I'm going to need to see evidence, counsel. If Miss Brett's words are truly contradictory, where is the evidence to prove it? The steak itself, sir! The steak that Miss Brett has been eating before the professor was killed, yes. Go on. More accurately, Your Excellency. The steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed.
Now you're just splitting hairs!
Not true. Doesn't something about the steak strike you as very unnatural?
Unnatural? What on earth do you mean?
It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it's been eaten. I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett. Notice what, exactly, counsel? Just a few moments ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could even contemplate picking up a steak and biting into it without using a knife and a fork.
Of course she did. She's a refined Englishwoman, or gentlewoman herself.
Then take a good look at this steak. In particular, the edges where it's been eaten. As you can see, there are clear, defined barbaric teeth marks there. Ah! It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So, if the witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife and a fork, there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all.
Objection!
But what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously hungry.
Oh.
Oh, whatever you say, dear lady.
As I said, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer.
Of course, this will all be over in the blink of an eye. Rest assured, I'm about to put this rookie in his place. Just leave everything to...
I've heard enough. You irritating little spectacle samurai relic.
Of course, dear lady.
What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have you ruffled your feathers? Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She realizes the catastrophic implications these teeth marks in the steak have for her. Ryunosuke, do you know where you're going with this? Yes, now at last, it's all come together. The mysterious teeth marks in the steak that has allegedly been eaten with cutlery. Blah. The reason why the bloodstain I saw somehow seems to have disappeared. And most importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting it tells us? Everything, Your Excellency.
Everything?
Yes, I believe that these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to the conclusive evidence in this case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson.
Shut up!
Conclusive evidence. How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase. Typical Japanese empty threats. How can you be so sure? Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had such conclusive evidence, you would have presented to the court long ago. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet.
Hasn't been what?
But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist.
Objection!
This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already, and you say there's been evidence yet to be brought forward. That can't be. I don't believe you have it.
Objection!
I don't, but there's someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And if that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, it will solve every remaining mystery about this case. Very well. I have a feeling this will be my last request of the defense in this trial. Who possesses the conclusive evidence that will reveal the truth about this whole affair?
Take that!
The answer is obvious. It's Inspector Hosonaga. What? I have it? Yes. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous. No. I'm not saying that. Everyone's attention has been focused on the stake with the teeth marks. Yes? Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Osa told the court the following. I'd enjoyed chomping my way through a good steak. And, oh... Did I say Hosonaga or Nosa? Anyways, as well as admitting to stealing the Korakuda-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it under the stake. You watch it, cadet! I'm a superior officer! Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the stake that you put the coin under, in fact, your own stake? Tension! Affirmative! Of course! I might be a soldier in the Imperial Nippon Army, but still! I'm not brave enough to ask a foreign gentle lady if she'd mind me manhandling her meal to hide something in it. In other words, the stake that the detective submitted as evidence earlier was in fact Sergeant Nosa's meal.
Objection!
But that makes no sense. That plate was taken from the victim's table.
Objection!
Yet the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor does she have any opportunity to steal the coin. Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire. Well then, how do you explain this paradox?
Exactly. Surely you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two steaks over. You did switch the plates?
Well, after it happened, when I saw the civilian had been murdered right in front of my eyes like that, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my steak and hit the coin underneath it. But then, when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting my marching orders. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. With military precision and timing, I switched my steak with the one on the foreign lady's table. What? You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing. It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what has to be done.
Unbelievable!
However, fear not, Prosecutor-san.
What now?
I swear on the brass buttons on my uniform That is all I did, sir!
All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant.
Yes!
So, if Sergeant knows to switch the plates over, it means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate it was on back to his own table. Yes, that follows. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken Miss Brett's steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. That to preserve evidence, you had taken both. That's correct. Then please, present it to the court now. The plate that was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot.
Shut up!
What can that possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat, it can't have the slightest bearing on the case.
Objection!
No, you're not wriggling your way out of it this time, lady.
I beg your pardon?
Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the steak pan promised to prove such a problem for you, no?
You're the one who decided it was a problem, not me.
The reason the defense asked to see the plate was to confirm something the defendant remembers seeing.
Thinks he remembers.
I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was a clear splattering of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have the evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett. Let us not prolong this any further. Inspector, you will show the evidence to the courtroom. Present the beefsteak and plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident. Yes, sir!